Starting by sitting on the heels, but if that's a little uncomfortable or you prefer to sit between the heels, do so. And if you have a block or 2 blocks, you can sit on a block or 2 blocks between the heels. And that just gives you a bit more height. Just make sure that your knees feel comfortable here and your feet. And have the toes turned back and be on the whole of the tops of the feet. Bring the hands into the lap with the palms turned up. And when you're ready, close your eyes. Take your awareness into your body. Have the knees either hip-width apart or together. Soften the lower back down towards the flesh of the buttocks. Actively elongate through the waist. Lengthen through the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. Have the shoulders down away from the ears and back and stack directly over the hips. Chin is parallel to the floor. And then when you're ready, tune into your breath, your natural breath. And notice the sensation of the breath as it enters and leaves the flare of your nostrils. That cooler air as you inhale and warmer air as you exhale. Become aware of the lungs filling completely with the inhalations and emptying completely with the exhalations. Full yogic breathing. And then bring the palms of the hands together at the heart and open the eyes. So we're going to bring our hands a little away from the heart now and interlace the fingers with the right fingers in front of the left and give them a good squeeze. And then glide the heels of the hands away from each other and squeeze as if you're wringing out a cloth. And then the other way, squeeze. Then back to center, squeeze. And then inhale, bring the arms out in front of the chest. And raise them up. Nice and high. With your out breath, bend the elbows and bring the back of the hands directly over the crown of the head. Inhale, draw the elbow tips back. Exhale, soften the shoulders and shoulder blades down towards the back ribs. Inhale, raise the arms, palms together above the head, reaching up. Exhale, make a big circle and bring the palms of the hands together at the heart. Change the interlace now, bringing the left fingers in front of the right and give the fingers a good squeeze. Then glide the heels of the hands away from each other again, squeeze. The other way, squeeze. Back together, squeeze. Inhale, arms out in front of the chest, raise them up. Exhale, bend the elbows, elbow tips draw out. And as you inhale, draw the elbow tips back. Exhale, soften the shoulders down. Inhale, reaching up, palms together above the head. And exhale, make a big circle with the arms and bring the palms of the hands together at the heart. Bring the hands down onto your lap now and make some big circles with the shoulders, a few one way, a few the other. And then come onto all fours, using a blanket under your knees if you need to. And bring the right leg back behind you with the toes on the mat and spread the toes out wide and just slightly tilt the right heel out to the right so you feel the contact of the whole of the ball of the right foot on the mat. And then draw that right heel back, spreading the fingers wide, pushing down with those hands, keeping the arms nice and strong. Exhale, knee to the blanket, and then change sides. Tilting that left heel out slightly if you feel you need to, so you feel the whole of the contact of the ball of the left foot. The very middle of the back of the heel is pointing up towards the ceiling. And exhale, knee to blanket. Bring the hips back, drop the sit bones down towards the heels. Have the hands nice and wide, looking between the hands, and on the next inhalation lift the hips and move the hips over to the left, coming into Hawaiian cat. Making a big circle with the body over to the right, exhaling. Inhaling to the left. Exhaling to the right and back. If this is too strong on your wrists, don't bring your shoulders so far forward. One more. And then at the end of the exhalation, pause for a moment. And then we go to the other side, inhaling to the right. Big circle, exhaling to the left. Pressing that breath out as you come back and down. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. Come up onto all fours again. Have the knees directly under the hips and gently sway the hips from side to side and make them little sways to begin with. And then if it's comfortable, just go a little further down towards the floor with the hips. Keeping the arms straight and strong. And if you wish, go all the way down to the floor. And one more, both sides. And then bring your hips back to center, bring the big toes together and the knees wide. Bring the hips back, drop the sit bones down again towards the heels and be on tippy fingers like eagle's claws to release the wrists. Coming up now, inhaling. Grabbing your blocks. Stepping the right foot forward into a low lunge. Bringing the hands onto the blocks as high as you need to keep the chest nice and elevated. Allow the left thigh to descend down towards the floor. And then raise the left arm on the inhalation and reach over to the right on the exhalation. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, bringing the hands back onto the blocks. And with your next inhalation, slowly bring the hips back, attempting to straighten that right leg and being on the very middle of the back of the heel. Slide the foot forward if you like, giving that hamstring a nice stretch. Dorsiflexing the right foot, lifting the chest and bringing that right hip down so the hips are nice and level. Exhale, bend the right knee and place the sole of the foot on the mat. Come back into your lunge. Bring the left hand down onto the block. Bring the right hand to the inner right knee, and if it's comfortable for your right ankle, roll onto the outside blade of the foot, dropping that right knee out to the right. Inhale, extend the chest forward, create the space, and as you exhale, turn the upper body to the right, looking over the right shoulder. The avatar pose. Take a breath in, and with the exhalation, release the pose Bring both hands down to the mat, stretch that right leg back behind the hip, inhaling. And exhale, bring the knee down. Step the left foot forward now. Grabbing your blocks and coming into low lunge. Finding the correct height for you with your blocks. Raising the right arm on the inhale, reaching over to the left on the exhale. Only bring the head up if that's comfortable for your neck, otherwise look straight ahead. Soften the flesh of the throat and create length through the back of the neck. Inhale, coming up, exhale, lower the hand, coming back onto the blocks with the hands, and inhale, draw the hips back, coming onto the back of the left heel. Slide that left heel forward if that's comfortable for you. Dorsiflex the left foot and soften that left hip down. Nice, even breathing. Exhale, bend the knee, place a solid foot onto the mat. Bring the right hand onto the block. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left knee. Roll onto the outside blade of the left foot, dropping that left knee out to the left. Scoop the chest forward, inhaling. And we turn over to the left, round to the left on the exhale, looking over that left shoulder now. And releasing, exhaling. Bring both hands to the mat, stretch that left leg back, inhaling. And exhale, bring the knee down. So we're now going to come into a squat. So ideally we want the heels on the floor, feet hip width apart. But if the heels don't come down to the mat, you can roll up a blanket and put the heels on the blanket. Or if that's not comfortable for your knees, you can place 1 or 2 blocks under your buttocks. And bring your feet out in front, hip width apart. And bring the hands and the elbows together and bring the arms through the space between the legs. So whatever position's comfortable for you, making sure there's no discomfort in the knees or the feet, the ankles. And we gently press the arms out into the inner thighs and bring the hands to the heart. Softening the shoulders and shoulder blades down towards the back ribs. Relaxing the tailbone down towards the floor. Lifting the chest. And keeping the big toes and the inner heels down onto the mat. And then from here we're going to bring the fingers to the floor and bring ourselves up to stand. Taking the props away, coming into Tadasana. Bringing the hands to the hips and lifting the right heel, bending the right knee and making a few circles with that right knee, going one way and then the other, massaging the ball of the right foot. And then bring the knee back to centre and raise the foot off the mat. Bring the right hand to the top of the right thigh and rotate the lower part of the leg a few times one way and a few times the other. And then bring the foot back down onto the mat. So with our balances, we find a focus in front of us. We don't think about anything else but what we're doing in the moment. We keep an evenness of weight on the foot that you're standing on. and we breathe nice and evenly and rhythmically. So lifting that left heel now, bending the left knee and making a few circles with that knee one way and then the other. And then raising the knee, left hand on the thigh, rotating a few times one way and then the other. And then bringing the foot down. Now we're going to lubricate the hips, so we're going to do the same thing with both whole legs now. So we lift that right heel and make a big circle with that right leg. 1 or 2 times going one way then the other. If you can make the big circles without bringing the foot back to the mat, that's good, but if you can't, that's okay. And then we do the other leg. Okay, and now we bring our feet together. Going to raise our arms on the inhalation and take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. And as we exhale, we stretch over to the left, keeping an evenness of weight through both feet. Inhale, coming up, taking hold of the left wrist with the right hand, and exhale over to the right. Just giving that left wrist a little bit of a gentle pull. And inhale, coming up, have the palms face forward, bring the feet hip width apart and soften the knees. Exhale, swing the arms forward and down and back and up. Inhale, coming up. So if you have blood pressure issues, you might not want to bring your head lower than the heart. We do 2 more. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling, reaching up, and exhale, hands back to heart. Soften the knees again, and we swing the arms around the body and give our spine a nice twist. And then bring the arms back to center. Bring the hands to the hips and step the feet out nice and wide. And have the outside blades of the feet parallel to the outer edges of the yoga mat. And the feet in line with each other. The legs are strong here. And slide the hands down the outside of the thighs. And on the next inhalation, raise the right arm. And exhale over to the left. Couple of breaths here. If it's too strong for your back, then you bring yourself up. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lower the arm. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, over to the right. Trying to stay in one plane, so that left shoulder and chest is back. Inhale to come up. Exhale, lower the arm. Bring the hands to the hips now. And soften the knees if you like, or keep the legs straight. And we exhale, come forward and bring the arms out wide like the wings of a bird. And then bring the arms down and cross the arms over with the right arm over the left. Just touching your opposite shoulders, giving yourself a hug. And then coming up, uncrossing the arms, inhaling, bring the arms out wide, bring the palms together above the head. Exhale, hands to heart. And back into Tadasana for a moment, just noticing how you're feeling. Connecting with your breath again. And then bring the hands back to the hips and step the feet out wide again. And this time we're going to make it a little bit stronger, but if you feel that's not appropriate for you, you can do exactly what we just did before. Otherwise, we're going to raise the arms on the inhale and bring the palms of the hands together and exhale over to the left, trying to keep that right shoulder and chest back. keeping the palms of the hands together as best as you can. And then on the next exhalation, floating the left arm down and bringing the left hand to the outer thigh. Inhale, reaching out through the fingertips of the right hand, and exhale, go a little deeper if that feels all right for you. And coming up, inhaling, bring both arms up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. We go to the other side now. Exhale, over to the right. Reaching out through those fingertips, creating an evenness of weight through both feet. Exhale, right hand down to the outside of the right thigh. Inhale, reach out through that left arm. And if it's comfortable, just going a little deeper on the exhalation. Inhale, coming up, palms together above the head. Exhale, bring the arms out wide, bring the hands to the hips. Again, we fold forward now, hinging from the hips. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, folding forward. Bring the arms out wide and then float them down, crossing the left arm over the right, touching opposite shoulders. And then inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands to heart. Back into Tadasana. So we're going to bring our feet together now. And if you can, the ankles together as well. It's okay if you can't. Just do the best you can. And bring the hands to the hips. Spread the toes out nice and wide. And on an inhalation, just start to lift the heels off the mat and come onto the balls of the feet. And then exhale, lower. Do that 2 more times. Inhaling up, coming onto the whole of the balls of the feet, little toe side as much as big toe side. Exhale down, and 1 more. Pressing those outer ankles in towards the inner ankles. Now we're going to raise the arms on the inhalation. If you have shoulder issues, you can always bend your elbows. Otherwise, the arms are straight. And on the exhalation, soften the shoulders and shoulder blades down towards the back of the waist. Have the palms turned in and then turn the palms back and notice the sensation in the upper back, turning those armpits inwards towards the face, creating space between the shoulder blades. And then when you've created that action in the upper back and the arms, turn the palms in and lift up through the outer armpits, the inner elbows, the inner wrists, and the little finger side of the hands. Take another breath in here, and as you exhale, release the arms down beside the body. And now we come to the top of the mat and bring the hands to the hips in preparation for crescent lunge. Inhale, step the ball of the left foot back. Exhale, bend the right knee. Be strong in the left leg. And have the right knee directly over the right ankle. On the next inhalation, we raise the arms. Palms turned in, turning those armpits inwards towards the face again. Lifting up and back. And then on the next inhale, start to straighten your right leg without locking the knee. Bring the hands to the hips, and with your exhalation, push off from the back foot and come forward. Okay, let's step the right foot back now, coming onto the whole of the ball of the right foot. Right leg is strong, pressing that right heel away. Exhale, bending the left knee. Crescent lunge. When you're ready, raise the arms, inhaling. And this time, if you wish, reach up and back, and if you're comfortable in your balance, you can look up. You might even like to bring the palms of the hands together and look to the thumbs. And then releasing the hands to the hips, start to straighten your left leg, inhaling. Exhale, push off from the back foot and come forward into Tadasana. We're now going to fold forward into Uttanasana and then walk our feet back into a downward dog. So we hinge forward from the hips, exhaling, coming down. And bring the hands to the mat, spread the fingers wide and have them shoulder width apart. And then step back into your variation of a downward dog. Have the outside blades of the feet parallel to the outer edges of the yoga mat. And then lifting the heels and bringing the shoulders over the wrists into plank. And if this is too strong for you, just bring the knees down into a downward facing table. Exhale, bend the knees and bring them down to the mat. Turn the toes back and rest in child. Bring the hands to the mat under the shoulders and bring yourself up on the inhale. So we're now going to come into Dandasana. So if you'd like to sit on your blanket and fold it over and sit on the blanket with your legs out straight in front in Dandasana. Having the hands to the mat in line with the hips. Legs are active, feet are dorsiflexed, chest is lifted. Lengthening all the way up towards the crown of the head. And then bringing the legs out wide. And coming into a twist to the left for a few breaths. Having the left hand behind and having the right hand on the mat to the inside of the right leg. With your next inhalation, raise your left arm, and with the exhalation, stretch over the right leg, coming into a nice side stretch. Keeping your left sit bone down on the blanket. Left shoulder and chest back, nice and open. And coming up on the inhale and lowering the arm on the exhale. Twisting to the right now. Inhaling, lifting, pressing the sit bones nice and evenly down into the blanket. Exhaling, rotating to the right. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left leg. Raise the right arm, inhaling, and reaching over to the left, exhaling. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lowering the arm. So you're going to keep your legs out straight and wide, or you can bring your feet together, knees out in Baddha Konasana, or you can cross your legs. Whatever you prefer to do to come into a forward fold. So I'm going to keep my legs out wide and straight. And I rock forward on the sit bones, tilting my pelvis forward, dropping my pubic bone down, and inhaling, lifting, exhaling, just inching the fingers forward, coming into a nice, gentle forward fold. Leading from the heart, not from the head. And then on the inhalation, coming back up and bringing the hands to the outer thighs and bringing the legs together. Bending the right knee and placing the sole of the foot on the mat to the outside of the left knee. Hugging the right leg with the left arm and bringing the right hand to the floor behind. We inhale, lift the spine, and exhale, rotate to the right. Sit bones are level on the blanket. Left leg is active and the foot is dorsiflexed. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, come back to center and give that right knee a hug and lift up. And then bring the leg out and bend the left knee now and place the left foot to the mat to the outside of the right knee. Hugging the left leg with the right arm, bringing the left hand to the floor behind. Inhale, lift, exhale, rotating to the left. So make sure that your left foot is planted firmly down onto the mat. Big toe side as much as the little toe side. And the shoulders are level away from the ears. Chin is parallel to the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back to center. And bring the leg out. So we're going to come down onto the floor now on our backs. Have your block handy. And just taking your time to come down. And grab one of your blocks and come into a bridge pose, lifting the hips and placing the block under your sacrum and then resting the sacrum down onto the block. Bring one knee towards the chest, then the other, and bring the legs up. Nice and vertical. So the legs don't have to be straight, but ideally they should be nice and vertical so that the sacrum is flat on the block. Now you can bring the hands to the thighs if you wish, or the shins, or you can bring the arms beside the body, palms down, or you might like to interlace the fingers and bring the hands to the back of the block. Be on the very middle of the back of the head. Soften the flesh of the throat. And this is our variation of shoulder stand. The hips are higher than the heart. To come out of the pose, bring the palms on the mat face down. Bend one knee and bring it towards the chest, then the other, and then bring one foot to the floor then the other, having the feet hip width apart again and the outside blades of the feet parallel to the yoga mat to help protect the lower back. And then when you're ready, press the feet down into the mat and lift the hips, coming up into a bridge. Take the block away and mindfully lower the body down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring the arms up towards the ceiling on the inhalation and float the arms over to the left and the knees to the right on the exhalation. It's like a swaying movement. Inhale, bring the knees and the arms up, and exhale over to the other side. You can turn the head if you like. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up, exhale knees to chest, hands around the knees. And just rock from side to side. Make little circles with the knees, both directions, massaging the lower back. And then bring the knees back to center and bring the soles of the feet down onto the mat. Bring the legs out straight on the mat. Have them hip width apart and let the feet be floppy out to the side. Turn the palms of the hands up, preparing for Shavasana. Have the head centered between the shoulders down away from the ears, and the shoulder blades down towards the back ribs and away from each other. Make sure that your body feels comfortable and at ease. And when you're ready, close the eyes. And bring the awareness down into the toes. And relax your toes. Relax the spaces between the toes. Relax the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, the heels, the inner ankles, the outer ankles. Both feet relaxed and letting go. Relax the shins, the calves, the knees, the thighs. Both legs heavy like lead and relaxed. Relax your hips, buttocks, belly, chest, lower back, middle back, upper back. Relax your shoulders and feel that sense of relaxation flowing down your arms, into your wrists, the hands and all the fingers. Relax the throat well, the neck, chin, jaws, mouth, cheeks, tip of the nose, flare of the nostrils, bridge of the nose, eyes, temples, ears, forehead, crown of the head, back of the head, the whole body relaxed and letting go. Allow the front of the brain to sink down towards the back of the skull. Gently bring yourself out of Shavasana, moving your fingers and your toes. If you wish, your head from side to side. Bring the head back to center. And using your tummy muscles, bend your knees one at a time, bringing your feet onto the mat. Rolling over to one side. And mindfully bringing yourself up to sit, to end your practice. Coming into a comfortable seated position. Bringing the palms of the hands together at the heart. And gently bowing the head down to surrender the intellect to the heart. And bring the head back up and open the eyes. Namaste.